happy to introduce the president of Special Olympics of Indiana, an old friend of ours, and certainly glad he's here to introduce Mike Furnish.
I can't begin to tell you how excited we are about the prospects. Bobby, I appreciate your hospitality today. Brent and your crew to have selected Special Olympics is a very important thing for us. We look forward to the partnership. Now, I'm a firm believer in the fact that things happen for a reason, and today just happens to be that day at the end of the year where Special Olympics does its house cleaning. So we've been over in our offices, not too far from here, cleaning our office from top to bottom, getting ready for 2013. And in the back of one of my file cabinets, I uncover this picture I have an audio-visual presentation. This is the audio part. Now here's the visual part. And I'm going to pass this around for you to look at. This is a picture from 1973 when Special Olympics in Indiana was 3 years old. It's a picture of 6 young ladies running down the track at one of the first ever state Special Olympics meets in Terre Haute, Indiana. They are running in a parking lot with chalk marks to mark their lanes. Well, 40 years later, our Special Olympics athletes run on the varsity tracks. We have an electronic score system at the end of the straightaway, and we have a whole different level of experience for people who join Special Olympics. But the neat part about this photo, and I think it has something, it relates to the IHSAA, the neat thing about this photo is it was taken 3 weeks before I got involved as a volunteer in Special Olympics. 3 weeks, 1973, do the math. I am old. But something about my experience with Special Olympics relates to why we're here today. 3 weeks after I got started, they came to me and asked for me to volunteer to be a basketball coach. I had just finished a career playing in high school, playing in college, and I was thrilled with the opportunity as a 21-year-old to take people who I'd never met in a circumstance I'd never known and try to make something out of it. The first practice, I'm going around and introducing myself to the players on my team, and I walked up to one young man, and I stuck out my hand like I had to other people, and I said, "Hi, my name is," and before I could say it, he says, "You're Mike Furnish." I said, "I am." He goes, "Yeah, you were on the 1970 Speedway Spark Plugs. You graduated with Tom Gilbert, and your team won the county tourney in 1969. I said, "How'd you know that?" And he said, "I went to Speedway too. But I was in special education, so you wouldn't know me." As it turns out, Chuck was a remarkable basketball player, not only a good guy for knowing me, but he was a tremendous basketball player. In Special Olympics, he'd score 20, 30 points in a game. He was a deadly shot. And as I did more research, I came to discover that in Speedway, when I went to Meadowood Park to play against all the best athletes in central Indiana, he went to the other park in Speedway and played against whoever just happened to show up. The difference between Chuck and I was nothing. He loved basketball as much, perhaps more than I did. I have a feeling he played more basketball than I did, and I was haunted at the age of 21. Why the difference? Why was I so privileged to have all the opportunities that come with being a high school athlete when somebody as deserving and genuine and dedicated as Chuck didn't have a chance until Special Olympics said, "You want to play"? Well, if you look at this picture, it's a picture of people who are all about 12 years old, I'm going to guess, 14 years old, and they're missing in Special Olympics today the way they should be. It's harder for a young person to get involved in Special Olympics. And as I think about this partnership, I am always going to be thinking about how we can leverage all of the goodwill we're going to create some avenues for new young people to get involved in Special Olympics. You're going to hear from a young man who is a tremendous Special Olympics athlete who regrets that he didn't hear about Special Olympics until, how old were you? 14? Something like that? Yeah, instead of 8 when he could have. So thank you. I have a sense we have no idea how high this is going to go. My hat's off to the young people who were about my age when I was getting started in Special Olympics, that this is going to take on dimensions for the IHSAA and Special Olympics like we've never imagined. Thank you all, and I hope you all remember you were here today, and hope that 5-10 years from now we're all very proud of what's happened. Thank you. I do. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Andrew Peterson, a Special Olympics athlete from Washington Township, a former cross-country varsity runner for Pike High School. That's right, isn't it? He says, I don't run as fast as others, I just run further. But he runs awfully fast as well. Andrew's a tremendous person. The difference between Andrew and the people pictured in this picture is Andrew is using his voice in addition to his legs, unlike those people that have gone before. So everybody welcome Andrew Peterson.